Good day to you, sir, and to everyone. So, welcome to course MTech 102 under prelim period. So, this is week 2, session 2. So, our topic, we're going to tackle about the mooring incidents, assessing common pitfalls and gate challenges. So, here are the group members. I introduce myself as Deck Cadet Burgos Cristian Gabriel Lopez, to be followed by my fellow reporters, which were Deck Cadet Cañete and also Deck Cadet Cadivita. So, let us start. So, the course outcome. Working knowledge of the mooring incidents, assessing common pitfalls and gate challenges. So the learning outcome. At the end of the session, the students shall be able to demonstrate working knowledge of the mooring incidents, assessing common pitfalls and gate challenges. So the importance of the topic. So the students will have a working knowledge of the incidents, assessing common pitfalls and the gate challenges, and also to the do's and don'ts when dragging an anchor. So here you can see a picture of an anchor on the seabed. So it highlights the do's and the don'ts when dragging an anchor. So first, you must get to know what mooring operation is. So here is the definition. So mooring is a key operation on board, hindering many challenges for the crew members involved, in particular with many accidents involving mooring equipment have reported in the last years, resulting to injuries and also expensive claims. So as crew members on board, we must be safety on ourselves and also to the ship in order for us to maintain the proper procedures and also in compliance with the SOLAS and other regulations. So some of the common failures are, so first is the inadequate lines. So several times the choice of a mooring line was based on the wrong criteria, so take note, resulting to reduced response of the line. Additionally, even if the criteria were as required, the inadequate storage or maintenance procedures may also lead to the same results. So for example, a new set of 2 marine lines delivered on board. So the safety officer provided guidance for storage and logged their certificates in the appropriate file. When the next safety officer arrived on board due to the crew change, there was no evidence which the certificate accompanies each line. So furthermore, things may have been more complex if one or both ropes were used on different mooring stations. So whenever you came across to a new vessel, so you must take note under the what are the past history or the stored procedures and other necessary details on board. So 2, inadequate mooring equipment use. So having the correct lines on board does not necessarily mean smooth operations. So the installed equipment on board may also create problems. So such kind of equipment that may cause problems are the mooring winches, the capstans, the fear lids, the chock, and also to the bollard, etc. So which are to be manufactured and installed under the specific requirement based mostly on the supported line size, the length, and the minimum braking load. So such common errors are the inadequate setting for which the winch breaks, inadequate maintenance of equipment, and also to the condition of the mooring deck, such as the sharp edges, etc. So especially for the winch breaks, it is very common after maintenance on the winches, the crew to forget to install the brake on the correct load as per mooring lines percentage of the ship design MBL used on the winch. So that's all. Thank you.
To each and everyone, I am Deck Cadet Benz Audrey Cañete, and so the third common failures of mooring operation is planning. So it says that all equipment on board, including lines and supportive installations, have been assessed during construction in respect of specific environmental conditions. Both IMO MSC CERC 1175 and OCIMF MEG 4 have such conditions as reference in order to set the maximum limits of mooring system use. So yes, in every operation in ship, including this mooring operation, it is very important that we would have a pre-planning enabled for us to ensure a safe and smooth flow of our operation. So next slide. However, one reason we still report failures is that even though most of ports and terminals have their own specific limits of environmental conditions, the commercial time schedule pressure is such that in some cases these limits are overlooked. Furthermore, in some other cases, master fail to predict or understand the forthcoming weather conditions or environmental parameters. So we should include in our planning the weather condition or climate in a specific area. We should not overlook to it because it is such an important aspect, especially in protecting our equipments, including uh, the mooring tools that we will use now. So next, so the best practices for us to prevent these failures are this: the regulatory requirements for the size, length, and minimum breaking load of mooring lines should be followed, as well as IMO, MSC, or the CIRC 1175 and relevant IACS guidance. The OCIMF MEG-4 is also a recommended approach on calculating ship design MBL and other relevant parameters. So these organizations give proper regulations for a proper handling of our equipments, no? So these are for the safety of the seafarers and also for the safety of the equipments, no? So next would be the levels of a rope inspection. So in addition, effective maintenance procedure should be followed. For each rope, the following 3 levels of inspection take place. So the first level of rope inspection is the deployment inspection. It is conducted on working length of the line, outboard of the tension side of the winch, during every mooring operation, by ship personnel assigned to specific mooring station. The working length of the line, outboard of the tension side of the winch, should be inspected for defects which may impair the performance of the line. So, before every operation, a ship personnel or ship personnel should at least check the mooring equipments if they are properly arranged in the mooring winch to prevent any hazards to appear, no? So next would be the routine inspection, a full length line inspection based on visual external and internal inspection. Jack lines to be inspected in accordance with manufacturer's requirements. This inspection is to be conducted periodically in accordance with company's maintenance schedule by trained, qualified, and experienced personnel. So as of its name, routine inspection, meaning we have this inspection regularly or at times, no, to keep in track of our equipments if they are functioning good or they have no defects, no? And of course this should be checked by trained, qualified, and experienced personnel, no? So the third one is the detail inspection. This is a full length detail inspection including all internal and external tests conducted by third party or manufacturer representative to be conducted when the line is near to reach the end of expected service life. So this is for a more detailed inspection in which it ensures that these ropes are usable or unusable for also the safety of the seafarers or personnel on board, no? So next is the end-for-end policy. All mooring ropes that are fitted on the winches should be rotated periodically as per company's policy in order to ensure that ropes which are exposed to heavy load conditions are not exposed for extended periods. These practices will increase their service life. In order to ensure continuity, the ropes need to be rotated irrespectively of whether they have been replaced. So yes, as what we have discussed in the past few days, the ropes should be rotated periodically, replacing the mostly used ones to the other ones who is in tide or in rest in the winch, no? To equalize its usability, no? To lessen the stress of the ropes and extend its lifespan. So the next part would be discussed by my by my groupmate Cadet Cadevida.
If a mooring line during inspection shows sign of damage near the splice or in the splice, it must be reversed in order to use the other side of the rope wire. Each line to be reversed end for end, only one. The date of the end for end change and the total hours under tensions should be marked. Overall, good planning is key in order to avoid failures after mooring. In this regard, master should review weather forecast, terminal experiences, and limit local environmental conditions in order to decide the berthing of routes, number of mooring lines to be used, and mooring positions monitoring during stay. A toolbox meeting to provide information to mooring parties is essential as well. Roles and responsibilities to each crew members should be clearly defined. Therefore, an effective communication plan between parties and shore personnel is of utmost importance. These are the following the do and don'ts to avoid dragging anchor. Do use anchor watch function of the ICDIS as a supplement to GPS anchor alarm. Do know the weather and bear in mind the wind direction. Do beware in advance. Study charts, consider the seabed check the detected depth. Do always keep a proper watch keeping. Do make the deep draft. And these are we don't do during dragging anchor. First, don't set the anchor watch on ICDIS without testing on it. Don't anchor on leisure even if the chart has an anchor symbol on it. And these are we don't do during dragging anchor. First, don't set the anchor watch on ICDIS without testing on it. Don't anchor on leisure even if the chart has an anchor symbol on it. Don't forget to double check. There will be a sufficient chain for high water. Don't underestimate the importance of extra lookout. Don't keep close distance from the anchor ships. Sometimes, even if everything is done right, dragging anchor may still occur. So the next best practice is to do everything to minimize significantly adverse impacts. Do use bow thruster, main engine, and steering to maneuver. Though if dragging is inevitable, let the vessel drag in an uncontrolled manner. Do deploy more cables. Do always inform the master and main engine and call assistant tug. And these are we don't do during dragging anchor. Don't do override the anchor. Don't do as when you know oil and gas operation are being carried out in the vicinity. Don't do drop a second anchor unless the ship is small. 2. Don't forget to inform alert VTS and other vessels nearby of the condition.
Just don't say it's love. You know it ain't sweet enough.